Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Hearts of Stone. We are here to play some Blades in the Dark, and very excited for you to be joining us this lovely Saturday afternoon. Bit early. We're going to be ending a little earlier today than usual, so heads up on that if you're watching us live. We'll talk about what we got going on the channel this week, and then we'll get into the game. So I believe our next regularly scheduled live stream should be this Monday. Had a bit of a schedule change. We were supposed to be back from our normal stuff last week. Apologies for that. Hopefully this week we'll see how things turn out. So join us for Red Jenny on Monday, and then hopefully back to Strixhaven on Tuesdays. And yeah, so if you want to see the full lineup of shows that we're doing, what we're playing, when we're playing it, look down below our faces if you're watching us live on Twitch, and you can see the full lineup. That's basically it as far as new stuff goes. No other real big changes. So I'm going to let my lovely players here talk about who they are, what they do on and off this channel, and who they are playing tonight. Starting as always with Van.
That's me. Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van But Wilder if you want to look at a bunch of accounts that have not been posted on in about a year, because social media makes me tired. But that's okay. You can find me hanging out in our Discord and just making my friends listen to me talk about weird shit. And then on Twitch several times a week. Here for several games at Run D&D on Tuesdays. We should be getting back to that this week. If I don't get sick again, I'm very excited. And then Sunday nights on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly, playing Dungeons and Dragons as well. But today I am playing Glass, who is the crew's whisper.
I believe I'm next. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can find me on the internets at Greek Sid. Again, I wouldn't. I feel like you have more valuable things to do with your time than look at virtually empty social media accounts for same reasons. But yeah, you can if you want. Sometimes I go back and go, wow, that was 8 years ago. Damn. Yeah, I am here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays. Tonight I will be playing former Naval Commander Jesse Henson, which is why my hair looks like this. I am running a murder mystery party for my best friend's birthday, which is why we're also going early. So thanks, y'all. Appreciate you. But this afternoon, I will be playing Salome, the crew's spider.
I'm sorry, I just resisted the urge to scream really loudly into my mic. Everyone applaud. Hello, everybody. My name is RJ. Today I'll be playing Fume. RJustice282, all these socials, blah, 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 blah. Fume is the hull, and yeah, let's do this.
And that just leaves me. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. This is Morticia. She's being very needy because her brother is in a cone and requires a lot of attention. Today I am playing as Grackle, who is our hound. DanaeKeener.com.
I am Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Ground, lurking around the internet, mostly just here on GGK. Listen to my friends talk about weird food stuff before streams. I'm going to be running this ding dang game tonight. Are you all ready to get started? All right. Previously on Hearts of Stone, the score hit full gear as the obedient servants convinced Elder Rowan to select Glass for Ascension. Grackle murdered her roommate, Fume murdered a vampire, Salome murdered a nun, and Glass murdered everyone else, including Elder Rowan. Fleeing the scene of the crime, servants found the letter in Elder Rowan's possession, penned by the Baron addressed to Salia Vargas. Fume uncovered a hidden side from the letter with the message, First of Mendar. And where we pick up right now is I believe the gang is heading to Skurlock's, correct? I can't remember. Did we do downtime and stuff post session? I can't for the life of me remember if we did that stuff.
We did
okay.
like all the rolling and
I
stuff.
believe we did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
we did all that.
Our stress levels are telling me that we did them, because I know I was almost maxed out on stress.
I think we went ahead and just knocked that out, and then y'all were talking about
Going on a field trip.
Yeah, kind of planning your next steps and stuff with Skurlock. So yeah, when we're back there, I think Skurlock lets you into his manor exactly 7 seconds after you ring the
13.
bell.
13.
13, sorry. Exactly 13 seconds after you ring the bell. I don't know, maybe he was early this week. You don't know that.
I
So
do know
eager.
that. He would never.
And says, oh, it's lovely to see you all again. I trust everything went well.
I need my book.
You need your book.
I've got a
Right.
present for you.
What is that?
We're alone, correct?
As alone as we can be.
Vampire bones?
Oh. You're not giving these to me because you think you have some obligation to, because you think I'm a vampire.
No, I thought you thought it was very cool.
I do. I just wanted to make sure we've had this discussion many times.
Right.
Thank you.
Do you want me to assemble them in your study, or do you want to use them like little jigsaw pieces over the course of the week?
Who is the vampire?
Gives the name.
The vicar.
The vicar.
Jacques Belmont.
You must be the Belmont.
Yes.
That should have been my line. Damn it.
Says, I'm torn between paperweight and... No, if you want to assemble it, I'll decide later. It's easier if you want to do that. But yes, your book. I will fetch that for you right away. You all are let in. He offers you some tea that he has prepared in his sitting room. It is steaming hot, like he knew you were coming. You can sit down and have yourselves a cup as he returns a few moments later with Salome's book, which he hands to you.
Salome visibly shaken. Just kind of holds it for a second.
Is everything all right?
Yes. I was told that once the supplies that were listed in the book were secured, that the rest of the text would be made clear.
Oh. I trust you've collected everything you need.
Yes.
Should I give you some privacy?
No. I don't actually want to be alone for this. Kind of looks at everybody else. Would you mind? Let's sit, shall we? Can we make a miniature unity den somewhere on the couches in Skurlock's study?
Yes. Yeah. You just kind of pull the two, like the lounge chair, the furniture together to form a little truss circle.
It's that
Okay.
scene like everybody's sitting in a circle and the book is just on the table and we're all just kind of staring at it.
Mm-hmm.
With napkins over our heads.
With napkins over it.
Can't do pre-stream bits.
No pre-stream bits. No pre-stream bits.
Sorry, chat. That was a joke for us.
Yeah. Sorry.
It's not for you.
Believe me, you don't want to know. Okay.
Yeah, don't Google that.
No. I think just looks around at the assembled group. Ready?
As will ever be.
Grackle, usually during a Unity meeting, she's got like a leaned back in her chair, like arms crossed situation going. She is instead leaned forward, kind of elbows on the table, and she just reaches out and puts a hand on yours.
Gives your hand a little squeeze. Just sort of unconsciously touches the Thousand Faces pendant at her neck. And opens the book.
Okay. Salome, you open the book to the last page that had been kind of revealed to you with these where the text had reformed into this list of ingredients. And as it lays on the table in front of you, a few moments pass where you start to think maybe there's something missing, maybe nothing happens for a long stretch of time. And very slowly, kind of at points you aren't focusing on, like if you're looking at some of the texts, like some of the text around the edges of the page begins to kind of shimmer and move like it's rippling slightly. And as that sensation grows more pronounced, and as the text that you are perceiving begins to rearrange, you see an incantation begin to form in front of you. And it almost like reveals itself in lines as if it is being sort of written in front of you, though it is just the text rearranging to the point that you are able to understand it. And it's written in very sort of prose, like poetic, but it starts with a invocation of thousand faces, and it goes on, and it essentially is page after page of this incantation beseeching the Thousand Faces for their presence and for their blessing.
Just to be clear, does anyone else see anything?
Do we?
No.
Looks like a lot of gibberish to me.
Nothing.
Within the ritual, or within the incantation, though, you start to get there are, I didn't write this out because it would have been too much, but within the ritual are essentially points of the incantation that reference what you can imagine like steps to the ritual. There are it discusses the ingredients and how they are like used within it, like references to it within the ritual. I won't have you make a roll or anything. I think with enough time, and if you're conferring with Skurlock on this,
Oh yeah,
you can go over the steps of it, because it's a little archaic and it's kind of hard to piece out. But essentially, it references the 13 heart stones to form the points of a star around the that correspond with the 13 dying stars of the old world. It goes it references each of those, like in turn beseeching each of these ancient sources of fonts of power for their invocation to unseal that which has been sealed. The Leviathan blood, so you have the Leviathan blood, the bone dust, and the gold shavings. Essentially, the bone dust and the gold shavings you can gather are supposed to be the anchor points between, like mixing those together to form the lines that connect the 13 heartstones. And the Leviathan blood is to be contained at the center of the circle, to which the invoker of the ritual is to bathe themselves in.
Oh. Fume, refined Leviathan blood, is it safe to touch with one's skin?
I'm assuming not at all, since it's caustic in property, right?
So
Or explosive in property?
essentially, distilled Leviathan blood is it is the fuel source. Think gasoline.
I was about to say, so like bathing in gasoline.
Kind of, except instead of like combustion energy, it is stored like plasmic energy. So it's more of like, essentially, and Glass, you may know this too through your own ritual work, is that Leviathan blood is a conduit, or almost is like a distilled form of spirit, of the essence that makes up the ghost field. Not necessarily as potent as like electroplasm. But would essentially, I mean, you would run the risk of being overwhelmed by spiritual energy. I mean, there's any sorts of things. Like, you can't imagine it'd be a good thing.
You're
I think Glass,
literally bathing in a conduit.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Glass, use small portions of Leviathan blood can be used to invoke spirits, and like create a like an easier channeling of spiritual energy. This would be essentially taking down the firewall and allowing anything into you.
Click all the dangerous links.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to feel pleasant.
It sounds extremely dangerous.
Sounds like they're trying to destroy whatever is there to make way for something else.
Or it sounds, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Glass, this amount of conduit, as you said, if the goal is to invoke and bring forth the 1,000 faces, it sounds as if you would be calling it into you.
That's bad.
Theoretically.
Well, we are in the Unity Den. We share our thoughts here. What are our thoughts on this? Honesty. Honesty is paramount. Please do not hold back.
All right. Do you want to do this?
There are very few things in this world that I wish to do. Generally speaking, I gather as much intelligence and information as possible, and then I choose between fewer options and go headlong into whichever I decide on.
Do you feel like you have enough information?
In this case, I feel like I perhaps have too much information. I am very rarely one to prescribe to the idea of ignorance being bliss. But in this case, I almost wish I did not know as much about the possibilities as I do at this moment.
Are you saying that because you're afraid? Or because you now have enough information to know that you don't want to do this?
I think Salome goes quiet for a long moment and just sort of sits back in her chair with the Salome mentally connecting all of the strings on her board rapidly within her mind. Like, like you almost see her eyes, like as if she were in like REM sleep. Like her eyes are just like darting around, like connecting things, connecting. I think that was exactly the question to ask, Jack. I am frightened. Quite frightened. But when has that stopped me before? I believe I must see this through. Unless any of you have serious reservations. Other than, of course, this could, by all means, obliterate me from existence. Which, again, as we know, is a possibility.
If you do plan on going through with your ritual to... Well, I don't rightly know why you want to do it, but if you ask for it, I will help you to see the chances of you being reduced to nothing get slightly lower.
I'll do the
Thank
same.
you.
I mean, to be fair, you've let most of us, if not all of us, do whatever the hell we wanted inside the jewelry box. I think it's about time we repaid the favor. there are some questionable things I've done behind those walls, and
Yet again, ignorance may be bliss in those particular circumstances. Thank you.
Well, I'm quite interested to see what happens if you decide to go through with it. Please document your experiences.
Oh, absolutely. I think just
If you can.
slowly turns to Jack.
There's a hard look in her eyes, and she won't raise them to meet yours.
You have reservations.
Is there gonna be any of you left after this?
I believe I will be whole. As I've said, I lost something. I lost myself. And it's been not a hole. It's been a hungry, gnashing animal tearing inside of me. Do I know for certain? No. But I think I will in fact be more myself than I have been in a very long time.
Grackle nods. I'll give you a fair warning. I pledged myself to you, not the mask.
I understand. All right. I believe we need to make preparations then. We have, what, 3-4 days left on our timetable?
Not a lot of time now.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, Locke. A quick query, if you don't mind.
Oh, yes.
Does the First of Mendar have any cultural significance to your knowledge?
Beginning of a new year.
Right.
Plenty of rituals and holidays around that effect.
We've updated him to the Baron's antics, correct?
I imagine mostly at this point, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the person we've told the most.
We have him like as an official resource, right? Like
He's our
Yeah.
patron.
Yes, he's our
yeah.
Is his role okay? Patron. Yeah, that sounds like he'd be in the loop. Absolutely.
While going through church documentations, we found a missive from the Baron, encoded, albeit poorly, indicating that something was to happen on the 1st of Mendar.
Well, given what we have seen Lord Meriden and his cohorts getting up to so far, I can't imagine whatever it is will be good.
No.
I can tap my contacts to see what I can find out within the realms of government, see if they've heard of anything that might be coming soon. Not much time to dig up information, but
Thank you. Anything would be massively helpful to us.
I'll endeavor to do what I can. Seems you have much to do, though. Should you need any assistance with this matter of the Forgotten Gods or anything else, please let me know.
Thank you, as always, for your hospitality. Lord Scudder.
Of course. Well, do enjoy your tea. Glass, can I speak to you in private for a moment?
Of course.
The head bone's connected to the neck bone.
He takes you back out of the room and towards his library. And once he feels the two of you are suitably alone, turns to face you and says, I trust everything went well.
As well as could be expected.
And, well, that's, I assume, something you would have told me in time, but forgive me for noticing on my own. Your new friend.
Yes. Was that a
Do you
question?
wish to introduce us, or?
Yes, I suppose.
Considering they've been skulking about in the shadows.
I'll, call her forth. Yes, of course.
Yeah, you focus, and yeah, you can sense, because she's been with you for since you killed Rowan, not too far out of your line of sight at all times. She appears now from the there's a fireplace in the corner, and kind of coalescing amidst the smoke and the ash there, and stepping into the room wearing the same veil and black gown, the translucent skin. Asriel appears, and she says, Lord Skurlock, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance finally. He nods and says, and I believe you are Asriel. Yes, that is me. He turns to look at you, Glass. Very impressive to enter into a contract with a being such as this.
Is that a compliment?
I believe so.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Very dangerous thing you have done. I'll speak to it firsthand, catching the tiger by its tail.
Everything I do these days is dangerous.
I trust that you will handle this responsibility with due care.
Of course.
Azrael kind of like, you can see kind of moving behind you, or feel her moving behind you, says, you don't have to speak about me as if I'm not in the room.
Don't take it personally, he does it to everyone.
Well, I'm at least grateful that our arrangement is more amenable than Skurlock's own arrangement. He kind of chafes at this and says, my dealings are my own, as are yours. If you wish to maintain this mutual alliance of sorts, you're free to do so at your own peril.
I do.
Very well then. Should you need my help in this matter, I do not know if the others are aware of this nature, which is why I wish to discuss it privately. I do have much experience in these endeavors.
Of course. The others... I'm actually not sure what they saw.
Suppose only one way to know, or just to avoid it and let them assume you're a vampire.
It's not a bad look.
I've leaned into it a bit. Anyway. That's all I needed.
Not going to hide anything from you. I never have.
And I thank you for that. I'm here for your assistance and continued patronage as needed.
Thank you.
Best of luck.
To you as well.
He excuses himself, letting you return to the others. Is there anything else any of you want to do before you leave Skurlock's?
The fuck is this bone?
Vampires have a dick bone like raccoons.
What the hell?
I'm just waiting to be ambushed about turning into a demon underneath a church. So I'll wait patiently.
Actually, I'll go ahead and roll this into it. As I eventually will have a little bit of free play still. As Skurlock leaves, Azrael remains for a moment, and she watches Skurlock as he leaves the room, and then addresses you without looking your way and says, "It's a strange and dangerous man."
Yes, he is.
She turns to you. So, I believe that our contract, as it were, has been fulfilled on your end. So, for the matter of your payment.
Right.
The arrangements are up to you when, where.
I have everything I need. It's strange. I feel like I should prepare something. Like, I don't know. It's silly. It just feels important.
You have time to think on it. I'm in no rush other than the rapidly decaying corpse in your possession that you wish to utilize. I wouldn't recommend waiting too long on that. Some amount of regeneration is anticipated, but once limbs start falling off, the whole process gets a bit messy.
Perhaps tonight then.
Tonight, then. Very well. Call me when you're ready.
I will.
Once again, she sort of turns and begins to walk away as she dissolves into the darkness. So, is there, if there's nothing else at Skurlock's, Fume finishes putting together the vampire skeleton, weird extra bones and all.
Oh, it's a Fume from that other guy.
uh, he just had a couple of extra bones in his pockets.
I'm very sure a lot of people got, like, bifurcated and eviscerated in there.
Yes.
Some bones probably got jumbled up.
They all got a little jumbled up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean, yeah, Fume or Glass like dissolved 20 of them with dark lightning. So yeah.
But it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So the you all leave Skurlock's, heading back home. So we'll go ahead and enter again free play if there are any scenes or anything you want to do. I know Glass has a ritual to perform. I don't know if we want to do that first, last, somewhere in the middle.
I want to meet Jackdaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Honestly, I think Fume is kind of okay with Glass being able to summon a literal demon. Like, oh, that's a huge stress relief off my back. I don't have to kill as many people. Cool.
And Faust said, "Thank goodness, I don't have to be the one to summon demons anymore."
And Faust said, thank goodness, a demon.
I can finally rest.
Yeah.
Is this gonna be is this an all hands on deck situation, or is this a private affair?
That is up to Glass.
Whoever's hands want to be on deck are welcome, I think.
Grackle always
I-
likes to be useful.
Definitely
And
gonna be there.
Make sure nobody dies to an accidental amalgamation brought about by a vengeance demon.
Whoops.
Oops.
Grackle has seen these things go wrong more than once
Vengeance
before.
demon
She
me
feels like
once. Shame on you. Vengeance
Yeah.
demon me twice. Shame on me.
it's her job to make sure nothing goes wrong, and if it does, nobody gets hurt.
Vengeance
she is
demon me
here-
3 times. Weird that it happened 3 times, but I have 3 nickels now.
She is here to supervise. Chaperone.
Run security.
It is appreciated.
I don't know. If you want her to lay down in the blood circle, like, make an argument.
Not gonna make Grackle lay down in the blood circle.
Me doing whatever my witch girlfriend wants.
Fume does show up, but like in full doctor regalia. He has like that leather tote bag ready for when Jackdaw springs up so he can run human diagnostics.
Okay.
Checkup, that's what it's called.
So set the scene for me a little bit, Van, as to how you do this and how the others are involved.
I think Glass is really quiet throughout, like setting up and everything. I think is just very deliberate. Has like pushed the furniture in their room like to the sides of the room. It's big. Pulled up the rug and is just very has very deliberately chalked out some kind of ritual circle or something. Very quiet and dark with a few candles kind of scattered around, and it's just kind of being very careful, very deliberate with everything, very kind of focused in, and it's just very quiet for a while, and there's a dead body in circle. So he's there.
Yeah. Describe to me what Jackdaw is going to look like.
So in my head, he's kind of got like a Austin Butler thing going on.
Like Google.
The guy that played Elvis.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got one of those faces that's like it's kind and it's like a kind face, but there's like that little sparkle of like I'm maybe up to something.
I mean, he did play a Harkonnen in Dune as well, like
Yeah.
the Psycho one. So
Mhm.
yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I assume
blonde.
this one has hair.
Yeah. Blonde.
I mean, maybe as pale. He is dead, so
He's a little bit puckish, a little bit impish.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great descriptor.
I like it.
Kind of like that.
So yeah, I'm down with that. So like same like kind of like sandy brown hair ish or
Yeah, I think a little more on the like the blonde side, but kind of that like sandy color
got it.
on top.
It's
Okay.
the facial hair situation, clean shaven,
There's probably a little stubble going on.
a little bit of
Okay.
stubble.
A
All right.
little bit.
The word picture is clear in my
A little
mind.
bit. Green eyes.
Thank you. Green eyes.
He's in High School Musical.
How different is this to what Jackdaw used to look like?
I think it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Actually. I think maybe this is just like a slightly maybe like a few years older
Okay.
than Jackdaw was when he
To
died.
compensate for the
but-
fact that he would have aged. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Glass was very particular about like not having him look totally different and thinking that would be really difficult for him to deal with, and they're already bringing him back from the dead. So
Yeah.
Picked the closest face claim you could
yeah,
find.
yeah, did the similar face and the character generator.
Okay.
It's like going from I don't know, I'm trying to think of like two different robust character generators that would be very different from one another. I can't I don't have two to rub together. I was gonna say like
from Baldur's Gate 3 to Fallout, maybe.
sure, yeah, maybe.
Pick any two Picroos.
He's been drawn by a different artist in this season.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it's a second artist who had a reference.
And is using the other artist's reference as their reference. So they accidentally keep making your character buffer.
Oops.
So you're just
I
turning this
gotta
into an
say-
episode of Trophy at this
Yeah,
point.
It's really weird to be like artist number 1 in that situation and then see the results of artist number 2 out in the wild just completely divorced from what you've done. It's like, you know,
I did that first.
It feels like it would be like really disorienting.
yeah.
You're like, what am I looking at?
Yeah. Love it. Okay. So in Glass's room, you've pushed everything aside. The body of this former church member that is being utilized for this. Just the delicious irony. You are have prepared everything you can. Everybody else is there. And yeah, you're knowing that you're not the one doing the like that's really the one in control here. Most of this is up to Azrael. How is Glass feeling about this right now?
I think there's a little bit of like nervousness, I think, that Glass doesn't normally have when they're doing weird shit, because this is taking them back to like a few years ago when their life now is like unrecognizable from what it was when Isaiah died, and so there's like a little twinge of nerves, I think, but it's mostly just focus.
Mhm.
I think they're like, let's do this and do it right, and then we'll feel later.
All right. Everything is prepared. Do you call Azrael? Which this will be, if everyone's there, this will be everybody's first time. Has anyone met Azrael before?
Fume has, right?
Yeah,
Fume did. Okay, that's right. The other two did
they
not.
got on amicably, actually.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah, she likes Fume.
Again, sort of it's like the cheap camera trick of like doing teleportation by just not showing the person entering the room in a place that none of you are looking. Suddenly Azrael has just kind of walks out of the corner and begins speaking. Says, not a bad choice.
Thank you. You remember Fume?
Lady Azrael.
Pleasure to see you again.
This is Salome and Grackle.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure.
And once again, that same veil covering a very pale face, translucent hands clasped in front of her that you can see the musculature and the bone underneath. She almost glides across the floor. This chill in the air. Glass, you feel that place on your hand, that spot where she left her mark, sort of like tingling with that like numbness again. That sense of like, I think this spot has actually grown quite a bit at this point. You can decide exactly how it looks or where it manifests, but I think it is like doubled or tripled in size from where it was before. It's just like, again, it's not full rot. It's just this discoloration to your skin, this darkening of it slightly. And again, the tingling sensation is like, like a hand, like a limb falling asleep, where it's like not quite painful, but not pleasant, something in between. Yeah, it's just the sorry, I just saw the chat. She moves towards the body and then turns to face you and says, "Are you ready to begin?"
Yes.
Very good. This will be a mutual effort on both of our parts. I will need you to call the spirit of Jackdaw into this place, and I will handle the setting within the body.
Okay.
Remain focused. The process will be easier with a smoother transition, given that the spirit has passed beyond the veil some time ago. If there is too much turbulence, the spirit may be disoriented, which could get a bit messy.
Understood.
And let us begin. And she hovers about a foot or two off of the ground, her gown sort of beginning to billow with an unseen wind, the veil kind of parting and like moving up over her head at that unseen breeze. And she manifests over the body, and you can feel like a tremendous power in the room that is beginning to surge. I want you to roll to attune.
Okay.
We're going to call this, we're going to say risky standard. It's not desperate.
Okay.
Not yet, at least.
Don't say that. Why would you say that? Alright, here we go.
All right.
I'm like actually real life nervous right now.
Is there any way we can help?
Sure. If you want to do an assist, you just tell me how you're assisting in this matter.
I have pulled several outfit options for Jackdaw to put on.
No, I actually love that because it's like normalizing the situation a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, he's gonna need something to
I-
wear. Like,
Yeah, he just needs something to
totally.
wear.
Totally.
Like,
I was gonna say we all basically have titles in this situation. It's security, paramedic, and event planner.
Yeah. Yes.
Here's here's what I'm gonna say for this. If Glass will be able to make another attempt if this does not go perfectly the first time. In which case y'all can do assists for Glass's desperate action on top of this. But I think
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
and there's something like trying to calm the situation and stuff. I have in my mind what will happen if this goes well. I have in mind what will happen if this goes bad. I think that is specifically that assist will help out a lot with like saving the situation if it starts not to go well.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
So yes, let's go ahead and do your roll, Glass.
I'm so scared.
you got this. You got this. I've got everything crossed.
Okay, that's a 5.
The 5. Okay. Mixed success.
Okay.
That's fine. That's fine.
The energy what does Glass focus on to try to commune with Jackdaw's spirit? Is this something Glass has done before? Has Glass ever tried to pull to find Jackdaw before?
I think so. I think it's been a while because probably the first couple of attempts at least weren't successful. And you know, we've been so busy lately. I think it hasn't happened in a while, but I think there have been some other attempts made at this kind of thing.
Okay. So what do you focus on?
I'm gonna say, because I think it's interesting, one very specific memory, a scene which you all saw in the very first episode of this show, but the one specific memory of Glass following that ghost down a hallway and then turning around and seeing Jackdaw's head just like pop out from the corner, like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Because I think that's like a core memory, I think, at this point. So I think just that, like, that little jump scare.
Yeah. You focus on that happy memory, giving you a profound connection to that thread to lead you to Jackdaw's spirit. And you grasp that thread and you pull, and you feel some resistance as the spirit seems firmly situated beyond the veil. And as you channel your energy, the glass begins to spark with this power, their whisper abilities, communing with the ghost field. The lights in the room begin to kind of dim around and like doling down to just like a low ember. As you try to rest the spirit free, you feel there is some tension, there's some resistance. You can feel that turbulence that Azrael spoke of. What you do have the option here, you can ride this out, see what happens, react to it when it's happened, or you can resist those consequences and make a roll. to resist.
Okay, what are the options?
Whether Glass is going to do a resistance roll right now or see what the consequences are and then react to those consequences.
Let's write it out.
Okay. You brute force the spirit through the veil, and all of you see sparking energy, the sensation of a spirit entering the room. All of your hair kind of standing on end, that chill of a supernatural entity that is now in your presence. I'm going to say everyone who does not have a immunity to spiritual forces, which I don't know, is that just Glass at this point? Did Grackle get something too with some recent with the Ghost Hunter stuff?
No, I
No.
just have I'm immune to the poisonous miasma of the Deathlands.
Okay.
Some of you
Okay.
may have like a spirit bane charm or something.
Yeah, if you have a
technically
spirit
we
bane
have
charm.
spirit bane charms, but like would we like I don't know, is this like a leave your phone outside of the radiology department situation? Like
That's a good point. If you bring a spirit bane, none of you would have a demon bane charm on you right now, definitely.
No.
Fun fact, I do not.
Yeah, so that's yeah, I guess Fume, you probably wouldn't have an immediate reaction as being a whole, being a weird entity yourself. So it's really just Salome and Grackle.
it's I mean like it makes a big difference of like would we
I'm gonna say if you have your spirit bane charm on you, you cannot assist with anything that's about to happen.
okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
rolling a
that's-
straight.
That's going in the box with the secretary.
Okay, because
Yep.
you're just like basically,
Got a
yeah,
little
you're
Faraday cage sitting on the table.
Yep.
Lovely. So you will either take a both of you will take a level 1 harm, which will be just like spooked or something like that, or you can resist it if you want to try to resist the harm.
I'll roll to resist.
Okay.
It would be a resolve.
This will be a resolve, I believe.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to. The choice is a harm or possible stress. Do I want to risk the stress? When the
And we're still in
harm isn't gonna hurt
downtime
me?
where you could still indulge your vice if you needed to after this, if you wanted to. Just FYI. Yeah, it'll be a resolve resistance.
My
Unless-
lowest in resolve is a 0.
Well, it's how many ticks
Yeah,
you
it's-
have.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
how
not
many
about-
ticks total? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it. I
How many
thought it
ticks
was.
you have on the other
in
side
that-
of the line?
in that
like,
first
if you just
column.
have one in a large number of them, you're better off.
Yes, I do. I have one in everything but a 2, and I don't have
So
anything.
you
in
would
a
get to
tune.
roll 3 dice to resist.
I do get
the
to roll
resolve.
3. Beautiful. Okay, yeah. Then I'm resisting. Yeah.
You know, I'm just gonna take the harm.
Okay. So you can just do like shaken or
Stir.
spooked
Yeah.
or
I don't want mental harm to fuck with my rolls. So yeah, I'm gonna resist.
got it.
The harm don't do shit to me. So
Oh, that's right. You just get to ignore
I
it.
know heart for Grackle. All right. I got a 5.
So you just take 1 stress.
yeah, just one
Okay.
stress.
It's not bad.
Not bad. Not bad.
It's
Not
kind
bad.
of a stressful situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think ghosts are just like, you know, just 2 steps out of Grackle's circle of expertise. It's like the
Yeah.
one thing in the world that she doesn't really understand, and still has the capability to hurt her.
Yeah. All you see as the spirit manifests, it's either that or what happens next that terrifies you the most, which is you watch as the spirit forms based on Glass's will, kind of roiling around the room. I think shelves begin to rattle and the bed begins to shake and the room begins to vibrate with this energy. And you see Azrael looks up, and she extends a hand upwards, and you watch as that translucent flesh on her hand sort of flays outwards, peeling off of her body and beginning to encircle her in ribbons. Her face now just bone and muscle, expressionless with hollow eyes, as she reaches up and grasps onto the spirit, pulling it from the air above her, and not forcefully, almost gently, places the spirit down into the body, sort of pushing it into Jackdaw's or what will be Jackdaw's chest, and all of the energy sort of pulling inward, just funneling into the body until quiet. And in that moment, just stillness. And then you watch as the eyes snap open, piercing green, almost glowing slightly. And then preternaturally fast, you watch as the body almost catapults off of the floor, latching onto the ceiling, as he kind of climbs across it into the corner, holding himself there, like not breathing, no panting, no sign of exertion, just holding himself, looking around the room, and just hear this low, like, growling whisper from within his chest, as he looks around, scanning the room as everyone's frozen in place. The form of Azrael there, just hovering, watching.
All right, now let's not cause a scene.
Guy did fucking skitter.
His
Your
eyes.
lover is Spider-Man.
I
And
want to say that
Spider-Man.
Grackle's got like pistols out, like ready to be all like.
He was lowering the pistol. Now. We've dealt with worse.
As Glass speaks, and everybody, you see like latching onto people as they're moving, like hyper reactive to everything that's going on. Just continuing to observe, like you get the impression of like a snake coiled back, ready to strike.
Very slowly grabbing a hanger off of the rolling rack, holding up a lovely sort of turquoise jerkin. I think this would bring out his eyes, don't you think?
Dear. Isaiah, can you hear me?
Eyes lock onto you, Glass.
Do you know who I am?
I remember you.
You've been gone for a bit.
Where am I?
Duskwall.
Is this a trick?
No.
How do I know you're real?
Let me show you.
Eyes
Calm
remaining
down.
focused on you. Seems sort of tensing as you make that request.
I'm not going to hurt you.
Sort of slowly climbs down the wall, keeping his eyes on you.
We're not going to talk about that until later, right? The whole wall climbing thing? That's a later conversation, all right.
His
I'm
feet touch
gonna-
the ground.
Okay, yeah, hold out my hand.
Moves over towards you. Slowly reaching out his hand as well.
Try to do a little magic. Little
Okay.
attuning. I want to see if I can like pull, like focus in, and try to like pull some memories out.
Okay. Yeah, if you would like to do another attune roll, then we can do that. This is kind of to fix.
Bless
Sorry
you.
about that. The consequences of the mixed success.
He's just a little feral. It's okay.
Yeah, essentially, as you are touching him, as you take his hand, the sensation you immediately get is that this is a spirit that's been forced into a body, being pulled from somewhere, which no one truly knows what happens to spirits beyond the veil, like what their experience is, what they go through, but you can sense a spirit that has just been that has not settled, like his inability to remember the problems he's had, like this feral nature that you're seeing is the result of that sort of twisting and churning of that spirit from within this body, and you want to try to stabilize that to so that he can remember. So I will let you do another attune. This one will be a desperate standard action. You can take the assist from Salome. Salome wants to use the assist action.
Yes,
Grackle
please.
is on a hair trigger. She is not relaxed at all.
Yeah, you're just like ready to quick draw, like hand twitching at your
That's
Like,
why we
how much
have you
stress-
here.
How much stress is an assist?
one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna take extra dice.
Yeah, you can either take extra die or do a greater effect.
I'll take the dice.
Okay.
That'll give me 4.
Okay.
Can I also push?
Yes, you can.
I'm thinking about how Fume can assist here. Start wafting some drugs their way to calm them down.
Always the drugs with you.
Salome's holding up like a cute outfit. And
I'm burning a little
I was gonna say,
incense.
Fume just like pulls out a pipe and just starts
You're
like
just trying to-
blowing it in his
You're just
face.
sparking up a bowl and being like, they're like puff and pass.
A pipe. Fume brings out a full-on bong.
Yeah.
Let her rip, buddy. Oh,
This is the
shit.
photo.
The only way Grackle could help in this situation is by horse girling the man, and I don't think
Just
she's in
pat
the
his
headspace
nose.
to do that right now.
You can braid his hair. Just braid his hair, you know.
Just horse
And
pass,
I'm
horse
petting you now because you're a horse.
Oats, oats, oats.
Just holds out an apple. Sugar cube.
Sugar cube,
Yeah.
just a sugar cube in the palm of
Gently
your
nibbles
hand.
it out of her hand.
Oh.
The failure here is you convince the man he is a horse.
a
and
horse?
that dog
Oh,
exists as a horse.
That's why they call him a stud. Hey.
Hey!
Yeah, no,
The failure is you just have to do pony play with your partner for the
Oh
rest
my
of your
God.
life.
there's no way we're not equipped for that.
Oh, I'm sure we cater to all tastes at the
Don't all have a
Box.
stable now? You're good.
That has entirely
yeah.
different connotations in this world, I feel. Horses are so valuable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Okay.
So what's
Grackle is helping by not helping.
I'm trying to remember. Can more than one person assist anyway?
I
I
have
thought.
no idea.
I don't.
It's only I believe it's only one person.
Yeah, I think
can
it's only
assist,
one.
Otherwise, it's a group check.
Grab the
Only one character may assist
Yeah,
on a
yeah,
given
yeah.
roll.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay.
Okay.
gonna let it rip anyway.
If you really want to help and someone else is already assisting, you could perform a setup maneuver instead.
Right.
So you could do a setup action.
You
Which
could
would
give him the bong rip, and that'll settle him down a little bit, and
Yeah.
then
So if you want to do, if you don't want to, if you want to do something to assist, then you make a roll, and then that would give them +1 effect level or improved position.
Could I do a tinker roll to have previously made us an extremely comfy spot
Make the
where Glass and Jackdaw can sit and chat for a while? There's like a phonograph in the corner.
Made a pillow fort.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes. Go ahead and do a tinker roll.
No. I'm rolling physical. Fuck this.
Yeah, get off.
Thank you
right
for
now.
catching yourself.
My tinker's
But I
3.
like it so much when you roll.
Do
No,
you now?
I'm just here to roll resists on your behalf.
It's
Just wait and see if this goes wrong.
It's a 4. Partial.
It's a partial success. Okay.
Chaise lounge.
I'm gonna say you said it. Here's the consequence of it, just to keep this expedited a bit. Is you had to get some really nice stuff. It's gonna cost you a coin. So, the
Spend no expense.
yeah, we pan over to something we haven't seen during this horrific moment. Is in the corner. There's a beautiful pillow fort. That's
It has fairy lights.
yeah.
Yay!
Very sweet.
So you can take a +1 effect level, or you can improve your position from desperate to risky.
Why don't we do great effects?
Okay,
Let's
got
do
it.
great effects.
All right.
Feeling pretty confident with 4 dice.
Yeah. Well, are you pushing yourself too?
Oh, I'll push myself.
Okay.
Five dice.
5 dice. All right. Gotta be some 6s in there. Double 6s. Nice. Okay.
Double
You're gonna take-
6s.
Don't forget to take your XP for the desperate action.
Thank you.
Um,
Hey, buddy.
This is like great effect, crit success.
Yes.
Dang.
Yes.
uh,
Exactly what you want to see.
Mm-hmm. You
Whew. That was scary.
you channel the your energy to focus and stabilize this effect. You can feel the spirit within Jackdaw calming, slowing, steadying. Sort of, you see the tension leave his shoulders. His eyes look towards the clothing that Salome is holding up. Bit of like creature comfort, familiarity. He always wore very flamboyant clothing when y'all weren't on jobs, and you can see that like that hits him, like some memories flooding in of you berating him for his fashion choices. He looks towards the pillow fort in the corner. Just the presence of it calms him.
The fairy lights.
It's the fairy lights. He looks back to you. His eyes softening. He says, Asher?
Hi.
This is really happening.
It better be. Absolutely busted my ass trying to do this.
How is this possible? I remember you see him like reaching towards his chest, where he doesn't feel a heartstone. Look, like kind of pulls aside, looks down, like you see there's a scar there from where this person's heartstone was removed previously. And then looks back up at you, still confused. What happened? I died.
You got shot.
Perhaps the two of you would like a private moment. Hands forward the really nice turquoise like suit set. Here you are. Thought you might like something nice to wear on your return. I'm Salome, it's Fume, Grackle, and we'll just sort of, looking at glass, we'll step out for a moment. I think the two of you have a lot of catching up to do.
I'll go make some gruel.
Doesn't seem to react. Too much going on. Can't react to everything. As he
Bro, same.
nods. He nods. And yeah, the others dart out, leaving just Glass and Isaac or Jackdaw alone.
Grackle leans into Glass and says, I'll be outside if you need me.
Thank you. I have a lot to tell you.
Just all right. Why don't you start from the part where I died?
Tell him everything.
Everything. Okay. You go through his death, what you got up to afterwards, eventually going to work for Salome, the jobs you've done.
Like moving to an entirely new country.
Yeah. And just walk through.
Gotta tell him about Steiner.
Oh, right.
Those two could meet.
Yeah.
You're saying that the man that killed me frequents this place.
Technically, I think he works for us. He's a hell of a shot.
I'd say so.
Oh yeah, and Glass has the scar now too.
Yeah. I think he notices that as well. He says, seems you didn't make it out unscathed either.
No, but I made it out. For better, for worse. Something else for me to hold over you for the rest of your life, I suppose.
All right. This is wonderful. This is unbelievable. I was dead.
And now you're not.
I do have one quick question for you that maybe you can explain to me with your new abilities.
I'm just shocked that you only have one question.
One most pressing one. Why can I hear your heart beating?
Hold on. Can I try to figure out what the hell's going on with that?
I mean, you would
Do I know?
Because he's a vampire.
He's a vampire. Because He's a vampire. That's right. That's right.
Do
That's
do
right.
do
That's right.
do 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 do.
Well, I suppose technically you're not human anymore.
What do you mean I'm not human?
Oh, you don't rely on a heartstone.
Right.
So, you're a vampire.
I'm sorry, I'm a what?
A vampire.
Asher, why am I a vampire?
So you won't be dead anymore? It's kind of the trade-off.
How am I supposed to be? Isn't that... Vampires are real.
Are you telling me that all of the times I sat there and told you all of the interesting things I was reading about hulls and vampires and ghosts and spirits, you didn't retain any of it?
I thought those were stories.
No.
Oh no, he's dumb.
They're very
Listen.
real.
You used to go on about a lot of things, but vampires exist. I'm a vampire. We're going to have to drink people's blood.
No. No, it doesn't work like that. Well, it kind of works like that, but no. Not blood.
Not blood. Then what?
Spiritual energy. It's fine. This is something I can very easily provide for you. I've gotten very good at this.
I'm very happy to see you again. And I'm happy you brought me back. I'm a little worried because I'm starting to get hungry, and now I know what that means.
You can still eat regular food, too.
Can I?
I think so.
Do you know any vampires?
One.
One. All right, at least someone I can talk to about.
We could probably get you something to eat.
Right.
Hope you like mushrooms.
Maybe being dead was better.
Don't say that.
No, you're right.
Basically sold my soul for this.
We're going to have to talk about that too, because I did see briefly a very scary woman in a black dress.
Oh, you'll love her.
Right. Right. I can't stay in this room forever, so on we go. I get cleaned up first, I guess. He walks over to your vanity and looks in the mirror. He says, "What happened to my face?"
It's not that different.
We'll just cut away from that. He gets to it.
Look at this chin and this nose. Oh,
We're gonna have to feed this guy.
Cute button nose.
All I've done
Hot
is
buttocks.
all I've done is brought us another stray. Really,
Exactly.
when it comes down to it.
exactly.
Just created another stray.
Uh-huh.
Actually,
Look, he'll be the bouncer, and any like bullshit people that we have to kick out, he can feed on. No bigs.
But
So
me,
I'm
He's
I
not
am
exactly
Bouncer.
a paragon of morality.
well, so from correct me if I'm wrong, but vampires don't drink blood in this universe. They drink the electroplasm of like living entities.
Yeah, it's
essentially
life
they-
energy.
yeah,
life
you-
energy, yes.
Energy vampire.
He's
I
just gonna
put one in the Discord.
instead
Yeah.
of 3 meals a day, he'll do the like intermittent where you just eat like a lot of very small meals during the day, so he doesn't kill
Yes.
anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
for context, the way, because obviously he doesn't have a playbook because they don't have playbooks, but I'm using the vampire playbook as like
An example.
an example, at least like to fundamentally understand like how his abilities work. But the way that it works for like players is your vice becomes life essence, and life essence consumed from a living human. Use the downtime activity to hunt prey to indulge your vice.
Oh no.
So
He doesn't want
he's
to be
gonna
fed,
follow
he wants
this.
to hunt.
Yeah, he's gonna follow those same rules. The one thing I do want to ask, and I'll get some group input mostly from Van, because I want Van's input on this, because all vampires gain strictures, things that they have to follow, which are like
Like a code of
slumber.
ethics.
Well, it's like your vampire rules. Yeah, like one of them is slumber, which is you have to rest in a dark, silent place, basically in a coffin. Forbidden, you can't enter a private residence without permission from the owner. Repelled, spirit-bane charms will hold you at bay. Bestial, when you suffer physical harm or overindulge your vice, your body twists into a horrific bestial form until you next feed.
Hot.
And bound, your spirit remains in this body, must remain in this body or be destroyed. So I want to give him 2 strictures. Which strictures would you like them to be?
I think having Fume build him a really nice coffin to sleep in is hilarious.
I have a great example.
Like Fume's got his own box he sleeps in. He's perfect for that. So let's build him a box. He's a box boy.
It's got like a canopy.
It's elevated.
Yeah.
This is the thing that was in the corner this is just the pillow fort.
That is the pillow fort. Actually, if you go
It is the
into the
pillow
pillow fort, we were ready for it.
Yeah.
There's a
got
coffin
there.
in there.
I had him build a new bed for Glass's room that has like blackout curtains. around
I
it.
thought you were about to say make a bunk bed with the casket on top.
Yeah, that too.
I call Tapa.
Has anyone seen the new AMC Interview with the Vampire? I'm just imagining like the 2 really fancy coffins next to one another and like fighting before bed. Like I love it.
Just getting in the coffin.
Okay, so we'll go with slumber for one of them.
Make him a box boy. What's
That
interesting?
bestial thing was so dope. That's hot. That's so
cool.
hot.
As much as it would be funny for a professional thief to no longer be able to enter private residences without permission.
Yeah, that seems a little.
I mean, social engineering's a thing. You can be like, hey, how's it going? I need to take a look in. Can you invite me in?
Yeah.
Billionaire vampire that just buys your property so you could enter it to feed.
Let's do that. I think the bestial form is fun and
Okay.
interesting. And
And
scary.
that kind of goes with what we've already seen too. So
Yeah.
that influences that.
Just
All right,
his
cool.
flesh starts flaying off his body a little bit.
We'll go with those.
Does he have like? I guess this is just vampire stuff. Like, can he? That wasn't just as he reappeared. Like, he can just do that. Like, he can just climb walls and stuff.
Yeah. So
Dope.
there's
Dope.
some of their abilities are in that line of like terrible powers, like they get superhuman speed and strength and can do things like that.
He's gonna be such a good thief now. Like, such a good thief now.
Literal cat
dude.
burglar.
Oh my
Thief
god.
With spider climb? Hell yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's too powerful. We made him too
Yeah.
powerful.
I also need to
Wait.
pick again, no, I'm just doing this for context, but like when when you do become a vampire, your trauma is maxed out and you take 4 trauma conditions that you play into. So yeah. I'm gonna think about those too. So yeah, Glass brings Jackdaw downstairs to integrate with the group. We don't have to play that out necessarily.
I feel like we asked Glass like what his favorite foods were when he was alive, and like what's his drink of choice, and so like we were just like ready with it,
And then Fume immediately shuts it down because if you eat anything too exquisite right after like surgery or after having died for a few or starving yourself,
fuck
your
your
body
shit up.
rejects it.
Can he at least smell it? Can we just have it and
I
then
think
he'll
that's
eat
just
his
taunting
food?
at that point.
Fine.
He can have
Fine.
one nightcap.
All right.
All right.
They're not going to stop fussing over you for a while.
No.
That's fine. I'm kind of enjoying it.
So
I have,
Jackdaw.
I have your outfits picked out for the next week. Just to take one, additional choice paralysis can be a thing when you're going through a lot. So
And I'm taking you to baseball on Monday.
You have excellent
Meanwhile,
fashion choice.
Grackle's
If they're
just
as good as
ominous.
this.
Oh, sorry.
thank you.
What were you saying?
Meanwhile, Grackle's just ominously in the corner.
That one's making me a bit nervous, though.
I'm sorry,
She'll
Danae, when you made that noise, I don't think you thought, in my brain, I know you mean like the gloom over someone, but I heard
Yeah.
the rock push.
She's not animated. She just.
Oh no, it's stalled out. Oh shit, we gotta reload.
Excellent. Well, as you all get to meet Jackdaw and have your various interactions, I think we'll go ahead and take our break here.
Oh,
Um,
add one more thing.
oh, yes, we can do that. Real quick.
We could cut away on it, but it's a few days later. Wait, no, we still have to do. It's like a day later. Fume calls everyone to a location off-site. It's a warehouse. Pulls a tarp aside, and there is a gigantic hull there.
Okay. Yeah. We we can cut away with that. I forgot that you were taking that ability. Excellent.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
your tank form.
The lads had some free time, so I had them gather some scrap bits. But yeah, if we're going to war, let's go to fucking war.
That's the stinger right there.
and we will go to break there. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll come back to finish our session here in a few minutes. Go do break stuff, drink some water, have a snack, whatever you need to do, and we'll be back here real soon. Until then, stay tuned. Welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us. We took our break. We're going to jump right back in. So Jackdaw, back from the dead, adjusting to his new vampire lifestyle. But y'all have some important things to do. So I'm going to open it up for any scenes that anyone wants to do, conversations amongst yourselves with other NPCs. It's part of free play, or y'all got Salome's ritual to plan it out. There's a score to plan there.
Could
Oh,
I
that doesn't-
spend a coin to maybe lower some of my stress?
Yes, you can spend a coin to indulge your vice again.
I think I'm gonna do that. I think that character-wise, that absolutely makes sense given whatever the fuck is about to happen. Salome sets up a full spa day, just a big old tub of milk, and mani-pedi, gets a haircut, gets our eyebrows threaded, the whole thing, and tries to calm the fuck down.
If you're gonna summon a world-ending apocalypse, might as well.
You might as
feel
well
good doing it.
feel good. When you look good, you feel good. The whole thing. All right. So I roll my lowest pips, correct?
Yes, it's like a resistance roll, just with your lowest stat.
Okay, so that's 2. Woo! Oh, I got a 6. 6 and a 1.
Nice. All right, clear stress.
So I clear the full amount. I clear all 6?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay, great.
We've played this game before.
It's a little bit. All right. Bam. Ready to go.
All right.
Sitting
Anyone
at
else have any?
4 right now. I'm
Yeah.
debating.
Yeah, it's a fun place to be at.
Ooh, could I give Jackdaw a once over?
Like romantically or
Hey,
that's
looking good, Jackdaw.
I mean,
looking good.
If people are open to that, no, medical once over.
yeah. What are you looking for specifically?
Well, we know he's a vampire, but I also want to
That's
see
pretty
any
obvious.
abnormalities, demonic influence, if any.
Okay. Yes. I mean, consider you've been burned by that once before.
Yes.
Let's
Actually, we've been burned by that several times.
You know what? I like to create themes in my games.
Azrael is cool and all, but also I think you muted yourself, Val.
Oh, did I? Can you hear me?
There you go.
Oh, there we go. I said I like to create themes in my games. But yeah, you can definitely do that.
And trustworthy hobbits is 6.
Okay. What were you rolling?
Tinker, because that's what my
Your
from
medicine, your
check
position.
is.
So, on a physical level, well, I was going to say a physical level he's doing fine. On a physical level, it's strange. No heartbeat. By all accounts, you would call, if he was asleep right now, you would call this a dead man. This no heartbeat, body
No
warmth.
breath.
Yeah, it is kind of just at room temperature. We're not getting into Twilight. It doesn't have like marble skin or whatever. But
This is the skin of a killer glass.
but I mean, by all accounts, you would call this a corpse, but no signs of decay, anything like that. With a 6, kind of keeping an eye out for anything that might be. I'll say on a physical level, you don't feel like there's nothing that you see, no markings or anything like that. You'd be like, oh, they're this is a red flag as far as there being some sort of compulsion or ritual or something on him. That's really all I can think. Like, there's it physically is very. I think you probably get some like tests and measures because you can't measure like vitals and stuff as much. It's very strong. You would consider like probably stronger than a normal person would be, than you would expect. Has very quick reaction times.
Fume just tested by throwing a pencil at Jackdaw and then just bap it away.
Yeah, it just like catches it without looking at it.
Turn of the head and like swing with the eyes.
Yes.
And then they see Fume pointing a gun at them while looking at a clipboard. All right, now dodge this next.
Yeah, I mean, you would consider like it is far beyond the capabilities of an average person, but nothing that would speak to you as being controlled or with a physical examination. Nothing that stands out to you that way.
Cool. I can go to Glass with a clean demonic bill of health. No, to be honest though, I really do like Azrael. They're not like the other people we've come across, demons we've come across. Anyway, catch this. The reflex test doesn't work if you scream catch this.
Yeah. So yeah, y'all have a couple of days if there's anything else you want to do.
I imagine occasionally Fume goes over to the jewelry box to give the kids, like, lessons. So this is how you commit tax evasion.
When Fume goes to the jewelry box, he realizes that like every time
coffers.
every time he goes there, there's a new stack of library books that changes every week.
I'm not gonna question it. The kids have library cards.
Of course they do.
Made sure of it myself.
They're not under their own names, but no, actually, yes, they would be under their own names because
Yeah.
that
Because
means
I've murdered
more-
them before.
more library cards.
Yeah.
Do you think Grackle ever gets into a situation where she tries to use a library card and it comes up with, like, a debt? Like,
Oh, you mean,
money owed to the library for late book fees?
I mean, like if that ever happens, then she just pays the book fee.
This is embarrassing.
She murders the librarian and takes their library card.
Hey.
The master.
I am the librarian now.
Look at me. Look at me. I'm the librarian now.
Grackle is going to make sure that Jackdaw knows all of the rules, make sure that he's comfortable, and assures that him if he ever does anything to endanger anyone here, then she will have to murder him.
Get
So
to
like
the
the
last-
standard
talk.
orientation at the jewelry box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, she gives him the standard orientation. It's just that Grackle's orientation is very threatening.
I think it's just like sitting there on the bar stool, like nodding along, like listening to you and like looking over your shoulder at like glass across the room, and like looking for a sign. It's like, this is normal. It's normal. Okay. And gets to the end of it. It's like, yes, I agree to all of these terms, and I do not plan on putting anyone in danger. Is there a form that you want me to sign? Or
Catch this!
it doesn't work as well if you yell "catch this" beforehand.
He just keeps
It's like a pen and a form.
Oh god.
I've been waiting all day for that.
I don't know. Does he just live here? Is he going to work with us? Like what's his whole deal? Like
That's a good question. Where am I living?
Why are you living?
Why as well? Fume built me
How are
a
you?
very lovely coffin. I think we just called it a coffin.
It's a sensory deprivation tank in the form of a coffin. It's a coffin.
So I
This
don't
is sort
need-
of normal around here, actually.
You should try it on
Well, this-
drugs.
As long as I'm not the first person here that slept in a coffin.
Oh no.
Is that a
Technically
kink
speaking.
thing? That's a kink thing,
Like
isn't it?
Salome says, we cater to all types.
Right. Well, as long as I don't get confused for a employee, it's not really my line of work. Then yeah, you just stick me anywhere, I suppose. Again, not a kink thing.
There's space in my room.
That works.
You're an experienced thief.
Very much so. Yes.
Do you think you could tutor some of our lads?
Sure. How badly off are they?
They're rowdy.
Rowdy, I can work with.
They are accomplished. But, you know, there's nothing said about going back to basics and relearning some things.
I can definitely work with that. I don't know if Glass has told you much about our prior days beforehand.
No, Glass has never talked about anything regarding the
Right,
past.
so-
It was a bit of a sore spot for a while.
I suppose that's right. Well, there was this one time where Glass bet me that I couldn't rob this manor house where we used to live. It's not too different from Dustfall, but I couldn't rob the place without any of my equipment, that I relied too much on it and that I wouldn't be any good without it. So I show up, front door, just completely naked. And there's Glass, like, just waiting down the row, red face, yelling at me, telling me that this is a stupid idea. And I just walk straight up to the front door, knock on it. Man opens the door, is a bit taken aback by the situation. I explained to him that I'd mugged down the road, and they'd stolen all my stuff, and he just invited me in, and gave me so it was a really nice man, actually. Kept in touch for a while after it, but just gave me a bunch of shite, and then I left. Came out, successful robbery. Glass said it didn't count because
But I don't think
I've
it counts
given
as a
it.
robbery if they give the things to you.
Is Tycheros just Fantasy Canada?
Yes, it is now.
It's very, very creepy, distorted Canada. Yeah.
Ohio, got it.
Oh, no. Let's go back to Canada, please.
I say it
shit.
counted because I acquired it under false pretenses, but
You
Glass,
say it counted because you refuse to admit when you've lost.
because I don't lose.
There we go.
Technically once. We all kind of lose when we die. Speaking
I'm
from
back now.
experience.
I consider that a win. Speaking of which, when does this Steiner come around?
What of just whenever he feels like it.
Perfect.
Or when we call him.
Hmm?
Or when we call him.
Well, do let me know next time he's going to be dropping by. I would really like to give the man a scare.
Could you imagine Steiner just sitting there drinking and then you come out of nowhere like the ghost of Christmas fucking past?
Also
You're gonna
be
give the man
hilarious.
a
I
heart
could
attack.
I was
Do
about to
some,
say, is
It's okay. At this point, we can just bring him back, apparently.
Do you think you could do some of the Glass? You still have some of the makeup. You could do like a just a nasty looking like bullet hole just right here, and I just show up just all ooh.
I could.
Glass,
please
Oh.
do not give our very accomplished assassin a cardiac arrest.
In Fume's eyes, Jackdaw has jumped so far up the ladder.
To be fair, if that did happen, turnabout's fair play. He killed me once. I killed him once. I'd say we're even.
Grackle's just like looking around the room with like this really world-weary expression. And she's like, "Dear Lord, there's 3 of them now."
Anyway, I'm getting hungry,
One
so
of
I'm
them's a vampire.
so I'm gonna go out for a bite. I will catch you all later. I think Jackdaw is just gonna start
Wandering.
subsisting on the local criminal element around town.
That seems fair.
Works for me.
For me.
The difference is the dinner bell rings after he eats.
Hey.
Hey,
Pretty good.
that's good. That was good.
Yeah.
I like that one. That was good.
So anything else not Jackdaw related?
So,
I have
sorry.
above table thoughts that I want to. I don't know if Salome will say anything, but I want to ask the group, at least. Finding Salia?
Yeah.
Brew.
Hmm.
I personally am really why is Salia in contact with the Baron? And like
We know vaguely, like, so we did establish that she was working pretty heavily with the Red Sashes. So if Mylera and Red Sashes are working with the Baron, it would make sense that Salia would be working with the Baron.
Does Salia have any like supernatural ties? Is it possible that she's a rival in this ritual that you're about to perform? Like, are they gonna try and perform this ritual? Like,
It comes down to that first of Mendar comment.
Yeah.
Because if my brain is thinking...
How far away is that, by the way?
This is the day after the deadline for the ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because from the Baron's letter that he was griping about, like, not enough production going on, but if we take that into the reverse, right? Production's going fine, and whatever that he's planning is going to go off on the 1st of Mendar.
Also, wait a minute. Okay, we have very much studied the Baron's handwriting.
Yes.
Is this letter, like, from what we have established, are we sure that he wrote it?
The subtle
This
culture
is
of the
handwriting.
lie.
I will
Or a
say
very good fabrication.
I will say definitively, because y'all did do a long project to study his handwriting and replicate it. You can say this is without a doubt the Baron's handwriting.
Okay, so he did write it. Okay.
And I would say it even further adds credence to it because something I was gonna say last session and I forgot to because Grackle didn't look at the letter. I assume Grackle at this point has looked at the letter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You would know for a fact that it was the Baron's handwriting because this cipher with the misspellings and like this substitution
When you were a kid.
cipher is something you used to play around doing when you were a kid. And you would write letters to each other or little notes to each other with like secret messages in them.
Oh, no.
So
I headcanon Grackle as having dyslexia, so it's 100% like him gamifying learning to read and write.
Now he's doing it with Sally. She's got to die. Like I wasn't sure about a redemption arc for that bitch, but now she's got to die. She's playing daughter with evil Baron boy. No way. No fucking way. She's out. She's gone. She is gone. Out skis.
We have a couple days for the ritual. Is there some sort of action I can do by spending coin to, like, see what was the last thing Sally was working on for the Red Sashes? See if that has anything to do with the Baron.
Yeah, you could tap some contacts and look into that. I don't think that would even have to be a project. That could be something along akin to like a gather information role.
Yeah, sure.
So it really depends on how you're doing it. Like, are you just asking some of your Red Sash connections? What
I gotta explain why I'm like 2 feet higher. Taller, I mean.
True. I mean, you could almost pass yourself off as a new member of the crew at this point.
Hello, youngster. Hello, fellow youths. I'm here to learn the falling star style.
Yeah, you could go full like Dread Pirate. It's like Fume is actually a title that's inherited by people. The old Fume is no longer in this role anymore. I'm the new Fume.
You could say that the old Fume. No, you can't say that. He's dead. I've taken over the role.
You can't say that because Emilian is walking around in your own body.
Yeah.
He's no longer. It's a family name.
Yes. He's moved on to other projects.
It's
so
Mom
Season
said it was
2
my
Fume.
turn with the name Fume.
In the words of my niece, he's dead. I killed him.
Why did Emma say that?
Knight's the courtyard.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, we can just do it. A gather information. I don't think we have to do this as a project.
Alright.
So we can do.
I'll still spend like the coin to do the action.
Yeah. So you still do the coin. But yeah, let's go ahead and roll that. So it just depends on how you're doing. If you're just doing like a sway roll, a consort roll.
Can I help?
Yeah.
Hello, fellow youths with new members of the Red Sashes.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, just even like all the intel that I know about Salia. Just like what her old habits were like that sort of thing. Like the jobs that she enjoyed, like.
I'll say because you're spending coin, I'm going to increase this to a great effect. Because you're paying off some people to get better quality information. So, so you can do an assist, Salome, for
Cool.
one stress.
Cool.
So what are you rolling?
Sway.
Sway. Okay.
You could do a study, couldn't you?
Yeah, I would be open to doing a
To study?
study. They give you like the document, any sort of documents, correspondence you might have, and you're kind of like connecting pieces from
Okay.
that.
Sure, that's better for me.
Yeah, and take an extra dice.
Thank you for recommending study. That's a critical.
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Fuck you, roll 20.
Fuck yourself, roll 20. No, really, don't screw us, please.
Okay, so a study you're going off of. Well, let me get up my secrets and plots document here so I can remind myself here. So all right, so you are going off of a lot of you reach out to like Zephyr, some of the other members of the Red Sashes that you have worked with previously, maybe even reaching out to Mylera, just wanting some information. I think y'all are in a good position with Mylera. I think the last time you spoke is like, she's not like full turncoat against the Baron. She's still working with him, but recognizes that there's some shit going on, has kind of been on the outs with him, but is still doing some business. She's just not as much in the inner circle as she used to be. But considering he's still working with the Red Sashes, utilizing their resources, you kind of put some pieces together. So most of the work that the Red Sashes do for the Baron has been mostly like security work. They handle a lot of the kind of like transport security when shipments are coming in. There's a couple of like jobs that you look over that are the shipments coming in from out of town through on the railways that the Baron has paid them to ensure safely arrive at his factories. They are kind of the same thing with their handling of both like materials, steelwork, metals, things like that, as well as Leviathan blood and shipments of the like. So you has been working a lot of jobs for him along that line that have steadily increased over the last like half of the year. The most of the security seems to be dealing with protecting these shipments. The Baron has actually stepped away from utilizing them for any like internal security over the last few months. prior to that, the Red Sashes were handling kind of up until the situation where y'all blew up the factory, was utilizing them for more internal security, has since pivoted away from that and is no longer using them for that. I would say first-hand knowledge gathering, the information you're gathering too, you can intuit that most of that security has become more internal, utilizing his iron coats for those, the whole security for his like at the factories, or his like personal security. But yeah, that seems to be most of the work that they've been doing for him recently. Do you have any like follow-up? You rolled a crit, or you rolled a 6?
I rolled a crit, yeah.
You rolled a crit. So I'll ask you can ask follow-up questions if there's something more detailed you want to know.
I wonder if my Lara was aware of the contents of the shipments or not, or it was just like a normal protection job. Like, they weren't told what was there. It's just, this is important.
I will say, based on, so it's not as part of the reports, but there's some, or I'd say like the reports that you're looking over with that question. Some of it is notes that Zephyr and Mylara have made based on what the Red Sashes who were working these jobs like kind of reported back, because all of this appeared to have been mostly off the books. They receive the Institute received shipments that were marked as shipments of like ore and other like base resources that would be used in ironwork. A lot of that is taken from outside of Dustfall. It's some of like the mining locations like throughout the Empire. Not a lot of that like mining is done in the city. The only place that like any sort of raw material is mined is at the mire, which is done through Ironhook. But those resources are pretty limited and are pretty well maintained, or are all handled like through the city council and some other business. The Foundation and the Baron don't necessarily have a direct hand in that.
Got it.
They deal with a lot of their work coming in from outside of the city, but they talk about the among the ore and the materials that are being brought in. They did notice that several of the containers, though they were marked as containing ore, actually contained gemstones.
Oh no. Team!
Huddle up.
What did you find?
The Baron's creating an army. Quite literally, creating an army. Given the information we had previously about how a soul is born, he's amassed quite a number of materials for making hulls and gemstones.
Pretty sure we already knew this.
But on this scale, in addition to the ones he can mind control in the city. That's a big-ass army.
Yeah, I will, to put some pieces together just for context, so you know that the Baron has been contracted to create holes by the city council with the materials.
All the people that have like they're on the wait list. So like
yeah, but the materials that he gathers for those and that are fed to the institute by the city council are mined in Meyerfield, or in the mire.
So if
the-
he's getting these supplies elsewhere, then he's got
it would imply that he is making more than
somewhere else.
that he is making more than he has been contracted to make.
Yeah. And we've also come to the conclusion that he can create his own souls, because we had the double Grackle.
Grackle 2 is being controlled by him, I'm sure. Right? No? We don't know. Okay.
I don't know.
You knew it was being, you could imply that it was being controlled by him, the exact nature. You also knew that it did not contain a
Heartstone.
Well, it wasn't like a traditional. So hulls and heartstones are a bit different, and Fume know this too. It's like hulls typically contain a core that is created by like essentially pulling a spirit, forcing it into the core, and then compelling it to accomplish a task. That's like traditionally how hulls are made. Is they essentially a spirit was bound to it and then programmed to do something specifically. Heartstones are different in that they are that they contain a like more true like soul, you might say, like with its own autonomy. Like the technology that was used to make hulls was repurposed for heartstones.
Typically, hulls were an automaton situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
But, like, I believe it was Faust Bertrand who pioneered the idea of a hull being used as a replacement body for a soul inside a heartstone to be installed.
Yeah, because heartstones were made as a stopgap to keep spirits from being freed using the technology of a hull. The same like principles. You put that into a human body, and then a heartstone is created as like a receptacle for the spirit that would normally inhabit a person, so that when they die, their spirit doesn't now go free and become a ghost that terrorizes the city. Instead, it's in a nice contained space that then could be disposed of. In the history of that being utilized, then people thought, well, and the technology, like the people like Bertrand, that came up with the idea was like, well, instead of disposing the soul afterwards, what if we use that same principle to then put it back into a hull so people could continue to live and death was no longer like the end, they weren't disposed of afterwards. And which is where all that tension came from with the city council and the church and all of that of letting people die afterwards instead of just continually putting them into new bodies. So it's all the same technologies, just utilized in different ways.
To be fair, it's more of an opt-in situation in the ideal world.
All right, wait a moment. Very persnickety question. When we gathered up heartstones down in the church basement, I guess.
Yeah.
There was also that issue of the spirit wardens had checked on things, but then Glass had checked into things as well, and the heartstones that were being sent for disposal weren't actually heartstones.
Oh no.
Yeah. We do know that.
So we found this letter down there in the church. So was someone in the church, or was Salia or someone able to get those actual heartstones and give them to the Baron?
Yeah, swap them with the gemstones. Ooh.
So the church was doing this thing thinking that they were fucking over the Baron, but in fact, they were literally feeding him heartstones for his army.
Someone caught wind of it in the church, and they brought the letter to the Duder's office, being like, hey, Salia's not who they seem to be.
I feel like we're filling in some pretty big blanks here.
100%. It could be jump into conclusions.
Jumping
we-
Leviathan, yeah.
Jumping to the Leviathans, but we did have this sort of unknown of Spirit Wardens thought they were getting Heartstones. They weren't. They're going somewhere. And now we have an army being built. All this to say, should we find Salia?
I think we should find Salia, yes.
Should we find this bitch?
Yes, perhaps we should.
Yes, mayhaps we should find Miss Salia.
And when we find her, what do we intend to do with her?
Well, if she's still alive, question her about the Baron.
Question her about the Baron, and then kill her.
Yeah,
perhaps?
we were gonna kill
You
her.
know, let's get some answers.
Is Jackdaw hungry?
Oh yeah.
Shit! What am I even talking about? Like, half of my class is tracking people down.
We literally get EXP for tracking. Grackle.
I think after all of this, just might turn to Jack. Grackle. I think we might have a mark for you. I think she needs to be found.
Grackle just gives you an affirmative nod. Yeah, she'll go track her down. I feel like this is like an immediate situation. It's like you give
Yeah, we
Grackle
got like
a job,
2 days left.
she fucking does it. Like, you give her a job, she'll do it.
We can definitely do that. So I'm trying to decide how to set that up. I think maybe we set it up as a project and you just try to crank it out as quickly as you can.
Yeah, I'm happy to
Might
do
take
that.
some coin.
Yeah. Are you allowed to use cohorts to help with projects?
That's a good question.
What are the ramifications?
So typically the way that the cohorts work is in the fiction, we can definitely do that. As far as the game mechanics go, you could either do a command roll to have them accomplish something for you. So that would help with part of it. Or you do a command roll to have them accomplish it, or you roll with their quality to do it.
What's this lady's name again?
Salia Vargas.
Salia. Okay, it starts off with an SAL, and my brain is all like, yeah, it's Salome. I'm all like, no,
The
that's
Grackles
the wrong
fly
one.
over to Salome and look over at you proudly like, we found her!
We found her. She's here.
I got dyslexia. This is too difficult. What
Transfer to the Grackles?
How many? How many ticks are in this clock?
Let's do it.
Let's
Salia is-
fall in love.
I'm gonna say this is pretty difficult because her whole thing with where she's set up is not to be found. She has a lot of connections.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make this an 8-segment clock.
All right. Reasonable.
Let's throw every resource into this.
Yeah.
I made a clock in my character sheet, but we could probably stand to put one on the board, eh? I was curious to see if after I made the clock it would show up, but it did not.
I got 1 coin left, and I will throw it your way in order to assist with this.
Sure. I got some coin too. I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna try and I've been given a job, and I'm going to throw myself into trying to complete it before.
She's
before
off
time.
the leash, y'all.
Yep.
I made you
Yep.
a clock, so
Thank
Wait,
you.
did you not appreciate the clock that I made?
I loved it. It's great.
It's
amazing.
beautiful.
It
I'm
looks
putting
like
it
an
on the
orange
fridge.
that somebody stepped on.
Yeah.
Is that what you were
I'm gonna
going
put
for?
it on the fridge right now.
Yay.
It says find Salome.
For sure that is what is actually going on in Grackle's brain.
She's
Well-
right there.
You fill it in.
Right
you did
there.
it. Job done.
I did it.
Grackle
I
looks
go
as
up the
proud as-
stairs, open the door. I did
Just
it.
like slices open an orange and eats it.
Listen, sometimes you need an easy win.
It's true. It's so
You know,
true.
It's so true. It's how you teach a bird how to do it. Oh.
Okay, so this may take a few. So we're going to spend a coin for this first one.
Okay.
What are you doing to for this first check to make progress? Here?
First thing she's gonna do, she's gonna go to her old haunts, and ask around, basically under the same premise that she normally does, like trying to like be like start with like the most simple, like Occam's razor. It's all like, anybody ever heard of this name? Like, what are they up to? Like, anybody know this person? So it's very simple, very surface level. Like, sometimes it's just that easy. So she always tries to knock that out first. So,
Got it. I mean, hunt works for this.
okay.
I mean, it's hunt a target, gather information about its location and movements.
Okay. This is Salome's coin that I'm using to do this. Greasing palms. We got a 5.
All right, I think that's 2 ticks.
Okay. I have some coin myself. I'll go ahead and spend another one to keep going.
All right. I love that I'm getting y'all to do the thing that I had RJ do a couple weeks ago. Just spend as much
Throw
coin
money
as you
at the
can.
problem.
And
What
this
does-
is easy compared to what RJ had to do.
Yeah.
What use does Grackle have for money? I mean, really.
Salome's gonna take care of her for the rest of her life anyway. I mean,
Spending
it's
library
fine.
fees? Bird seed? The Grackles feed themselves.
It's true.
Okay,
And you got a ghost horse now,
The
so
Grackles
it's like
fly in with a pizza. Not just like a crappy like dust fall like mushroom. This is a straight up like Marco's pizza like in a box with like pepperoni and cheese. You have no idea where they got it from.
where did they get real meat? Where did they get the cheese?
Did they go to another dimension and did they come to the real world and find pizza?
The Grackles
I'm
also
missing
have a
stuff on my
teaming
desk.
patron.
I'm pretty sure that
Yes.
the Grackles actually came in here and took it. They have
One of the
interdimensional
Grackles-
abilities now.
Is wearing a chef's hat with like a Mario mustache, and underneath the chef's hat is a little rat.
yeah.
Are we getting too deep in the? I think we're getting a little too deep.
I think at
it's-
this point
it's-
we have to. I think at this point we
got
have
a
to keep going.
Yeah,
we'll
we've hit
come
the
out on the
center of
other
the
side.
earth. We gotta go the other side. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I've got a Grackle under my hat that makes me steal things.
One of the Grackles in the flock is definitely named Boyardee.
Oh. Okay, next one. I'm
So
following
you ask
up.
around, start to get some information, reach out to contacts. You find that Salia is she's around a lot of different areas. Like there are people that have worked with her, and I think Salome maybe knows some of her like aliases that she works under as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Helps you out there.
I
Spends
always
a-
told her. Glass took that to heart, but I always told her don't reuse an alias.
Yeah, she uses a lot of aliases that are just like anagrams for her name anyway, and like it's like the always like starts with an S. So, but she spends a lot of her time in like Brightstone, Charter Hall, Six Towers, kind of in like that region of the city. Okay, so what do you do next?
I want to say that previous role, she got like the most useful information from that spy that fired her a while back. So like, Do you remember? Do you remember that spy?
It's like, I'm sorry, it's too much of a risk for you to work for me, but we can still get lunch,
Yes,
you know?
exactly that person. Like, her name was Casta. No, Valeris.
That sounds
So
right,
like
yeah.
Valeris gets into a carriage and Grackle is the driver, and she turns around. She's all like, "Listen, I know I don't work for you anymore, but I need a solid." Gives her a fucking heart attack. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna follow up on those leads. She's gonna try and like she's hunting down she's hunting down all of these different aliases. She's trying to like trace trace all of these different aliases, see what they were up to, and then try to figure out which one is the most recent, like that sort of thing.
I'm realizing Salia's name as an anagram is alias.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And I know that Val didn't do that because Salia was in the book as a name, so
That's really interesting. I'm gonna hit that as a hunt again. Got a 6.
Would you really call
Wonderful.
it an anagram if they just move the S from the back?
yeah. That's technically an
It's a
anagram.
lazy anagram.
It's a
but
really
an
lazy
anagram.
one, but it's
I feel
there.
like this is like a barren spelling error. Oh shit, we didn't account that.
You're talking to a person whose alias was Jackal for a time. So I really can't judge. So yeah, I'm doing that.
All right. Make a lot of good progress with that. You had some leads. You begin following up on those. You begin to find some patterns, people that she is working with regularly. That gives you 3 ticks on your progress clock.
Sick.
So you have 5 out of 8 right now.
Okay, this is the last coin in my pocket.
If
getting
this doesn't do it, then Salia, no, that's me. Huh? Who am I anymore? Then Salome will. I'll cut into my stash. I'll go down to 3 full again
That's okay.
because this is important.
I just think it'd be like dramatically. It's dramatic. It's like, this is my last coin. All right, let's do this.
Last one.
Yeah, that's what it came down to for me.
The consequences are, like we just use more coin, but like this one's kind of fun.
No, this is
Yeah, you
dynamic.
have so
I
much
love
in your
it.
stash to tap into. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Okay. So like we've narrowed things down. We've got a pretty good idea of like where to look. Now is like the last push. It's a situation where like Grackle kind of has to like take a step past the line, like put herself into like, a little bit of danger of being discovered, just to confirm that the person she thinks is Salia. Like she's got a pretty good idea of where she is, but she needs to confirm it. So that's what this last roll is. I'm gonna push myself for this one.
Go for it.
It's a bonus dice. Let's go. I got a 5.
Okay, that's 2 more ticks. So you're you don't quite get there. I think you've really narrowed things down. You find out that like her home turf seems to be in Brightstone. Most of her business is done in Charter Hall, and in that area. And it's actually probably the lack of the amount of business that she does in Brightstone that kind of pulls you in that direction, because a lot of her like comings and goings, and like she's seen a lot in this area, which gives you the impression that maybe she lives here, which would give you a pretty good lead if you can find out where she lives and under what name. But you're 1 tick away.
Salome. I like the I like the symbolism of this. Is gonna go into her own coffers, if you will, and pull out a really lovely ruby brooch and hand it to Jack. That was a going away present from Salia when she set out on her own. I've never worn it. Get whatever you can for it.
I kind of like the idea of Grackle using this brooch as an indicator. She has a pretty good idea of who Salia is, but the plan is she's going to put the brooch in a position where Salia will see it, and then she can determine from her reaction whether or not this is the person she's looking for.
I kind of like the idea that maybe you like either sell the brooch to like a pawn shop or something that's in this area or something. So like it's on display in like a front window, and then like stake out that window for like people that are passing by, or you pay somebody off to like put it on a mannequin and like a front, like in a front window of a boutique or a store.
Yeah. In a place where I know she'll be. Yeah. Yeah, we're doing that. One last hunt.
Yeah, well, you can go ahead and roll here because I want to know if you succeed or fail, like how well the roll goes, but you're gonna get it no matter what.
Coolio.
Gonna interrupt that scene by saying, Fume hands Grackle a gun. You know what to do.
What am I supposed to shoot gay bullets? Like what? Sorry, like I imagine that as like it's Pride Month. You know what that means? It's like I have guns already. All right, like I'm rolling. I'm just doing it. 6.
Hey.
Hey! Yes! Yeah!
Perfect. So, I'm gonna say you take the next 3 days hunting down Salia. You're running low on time. You've set up this like stakeout as like a last ditch effort to try to find her, because again, you've seen there are lots of people that could be matching her description. You've narrowed it down to a few people that could be her, but you don't want to approach and like scare her off and let her know that you're on her tail. You set this up paying off the proprietor of this boutique to put this brooch on display on a mannequin front and center where you hope she's going to pass by. As you spend that last day staking out this spot, you catch a few people that like, you know, like people that are shopping in the area in Brightstone. It's a lot more, you know, affluent. There's shops, there's boutiques, there's parlors and places that like there's a lot of traffic coming through here. People that stop, look, nobody really catches your eye, and nobody that you have that like gut instinct that that's the person you're looking for. Until a small group of people come walking past, and as they continue on, one person stays looking through the window. A woman in a green dress, carrying a parasol, moves and heads into the shop. She's in there for about 20 minutes or so. You see a clerk or somebody who works in the shop moves to the front, goes to that mannequin, takes the brooch, moves back inside, and a few minutes later, that woman leaves, carrying a small parcel in hand as she heads down the road. She walks down to a very cozy little townhome down the strip, and heads inside. And you feel very confident that this is her home. Later on, you do some digging. You find the home belongs to a woman by the name of Ilyasa Gravas, which is a anagram for Sally Vargas.
Of course. Of course. Okay. This house is gonna have a few Grackles hanging around it.
But you know where she is. You know where she lives. If y'all want to make your move.
Sick. All right.
I feel like
Salome
we
gets that report.
I feel like we gotta move before the ritual, before the first. Like, we gotta know what
we
we're
need to
dealing
see
with.
what she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
We gotta know what we're dealing with.
okay. That sounds like our next job.
Are y'all trying to do this
Unless-
as a score?
Unless that's something we can just do during downtime.
I mean, this is almost like, again, for it really just depends on what you're trying to accomplish here.
Bagger and Tagger. I mean,
Yeah.
It's, how much security does she have? Like, was she relying on anonymity for protection, or
Like
anonymity?
2 iron coats just sitting outside of her house.
shit.
Yeah. I mean, it really
Like,
just.
With the long-term project, I feel like we would know all of that, right?
Yes. Well, the long-term project was to find her.
Fair.
So somebody could do a gather information to kind of stake out the place and see what you find.
Yo, I'm here for you. I'll do a survey.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and do it. Just a risky standard.
Hey, it had to run out eventually.
Never roll this many times in a row.
That's a 2.
This is perfect, actually. I love this. She's smart. She's got to be tough. She's smart. I taught her well.
I feel like I'm tipping my hand to Irene Adler. This isn't gonna end well.
So I will tell you, with the 2, you can attempt to resist the consequence of this, because the consequence will be you are made and she bolts.
Okay. I'll resist. Listen, if the consequence was a broken arm, I'd tank it, but we don't want this to happen. I'm resisting. How do I resist?
So I'm
What am I
deciding
resisting
which.
with?
We're gonna do this as a insight resistance.
Okay. Cool. It's not my best resist. I'll have 2 dice on this. Are you allowed to push a resist? I think it's just kind of you've got what you
mean,
got, right?
I guess you could, but the consequences of resisting
just decides
poorly
how
is you
much.
gain stress.
Yeah,
So
it just decides how many stress. Okay, all right. I feel like I ask this question every time. I'm all like, oh, I put too much importance on it. Ugh.
Don't you have an ability where you just say no?
No.
You expend like special armor or something like that?
Nah, I got rid of that ability a while ago.
Ooh.
4.
so that's 4 stress.
Fuck. I'm gonna spend 1 more coin for you to do some stress relief before we do this shit.
This is
So you stake out the place. Okay. What does Grackle do to stay? Like, what is your stake out here? because this isn't your normal like hunting ground stuff. This is not a seedy part of town where you can skulk around in an alleyway or something. This is like this is suburbia in Dustfall standards.
Yeah, no, she has to go incognito. So most of her surveillance is being done by Grackles. And she's like across the street at a cafe with a book.
Okay.
Like she's wearing nicer clothes. She's got her readers on.
Got it. You you're sitting there nice and trying to blend in. The as you are, I imagine this is where the stress comes from, is that you are very exposed out in the open. Doing the surveillance just isn't your normal shtick. You as you are waiting, you keep an eye on Sally's home, seeing her comings and goings. She has a few she has like a few visitors throughout the day. People dropping by the home. They look to be like neighbors and stuff. She's pretty well like integrated with this community under this alias. But what you notice as you are observing is that there's no security, there's no guards or anything. Again, very domestic lifestyle. In fact, there is a that you see like earlier in the morning as you're kind of waiting out there. A man exits the home in a very like, again, very like Stepford kind of like cardigan and glasses and stuff, very unassuming. You notice a wedding ring on, which you also notice one on Sally as well. This appears to be her husband.
Okay.
Did you ask a question? You kind of cut out.
No, I just said okay.
Okay. But no other security that you can tell of, speak of.
Curious about this husband now. Can I tail him and see what he's about? Like,
yeah, her husband seems to be mostly like housekeeper. Like, well, she's kind of heading out doing her thing. Like, he stays at home. We should come out and like tend to the garden. He leaves, heads down the road to do some shopping at the corner like market, the butcher, picking up food, heading back. Again, extremely nauseatingly domestic.
My guy's a house husband. Okay. All right. Salome gets a full report. And I leave some Grackles to keep an eye on these guys.
This is fucked up. How tall was the husband?
Just like, she comes home, the husband's got an apron on, chopping up some vegetables, and turns around and it's just Grackle.
What have you done to my husband? We're taking care of him. So you want tea with that, sir? Oh, lovely. Just a delight.
I'll say he's 5'11".
Okay, who among us is of a similar height? Salome is only about 5'9".
Glass and Fume now?
Oh.
No?
Gosh.
No, Glass isn't super tall.
Oh, no.
Grackle's tall.
Fume's around 5'10", 5'11".
I think Fume's the better match here. Grackle's a little too broad about the shoulders.
Salome, I do not like the face that you are making. That is the face of a schemer, and I would know.
What are you complaining about? You love scheming.
Yes, when it involves other people.
Oh, this most assuredly does involve other people, but it might involve you as well. How are your baking skills?
Oh, they're actually pretty good. Why?
Scoop the husband. Wait in his place. Let her come home. And we scoop her.
What's the tolerance on collateral?
He seems like a innocent enough type. Alive if possible. For her, we'd like to get the information, but if alive isn't possible, do what needs to be done.
That's what we have a ghost talker for.
How drab do I have to dress for this?
Oh, I think you'll be dressed quite nicely. Plus an apron.
Oh, lovely. Cuts to Fume wearing the frilliest apron.
A cardigan.
with the sleeve patches.
Yep. Just full Mr. Rogers with an apron is what I'm
God.
imagining.
We're turning into Batman villains.
Yeah, a little bit.
Very
You're about to
quickly.
open this door and squirt him with the squirty flower of knockout gas.
Or squirt him with a flower and it's water, and then I just punch him in the throat.
Both
Oh, God.
viable options. Nah, I don't want to kill him. Just want to get him out of the house. If possible. I mean, you could just knock him out, put him in the closet, as long as he's going to stay down for a while. I don't mind.
Book
Just-
club invite?
Leave him up in his room with like a crochet project.
Yeah, just invite him to book club.
Some very loud music.
Give him a pottery class coupon.
For his troubles.
Take
All
him on a
right.
horse ride.
I guess this is what we're doing.
How mafia do we want to get with this? Grackle could take him on a horseback ride.
Just imagine the Traviata playing in the background and he's like knitting a sweater for his wife as we're abducting her.
No.
So it kind of sounds like I guess we're doing this as a score, which I wasn't expecting to do two scores in such a short period of time, but we are. Sometimes that's what you got to do.
It can be quick, right? I mean, we can do this in a day. Like, that's the plan. Like, we got the
Yeah, I mean,
intel,
there's
we do it in
no-
a day. Like,
There's nothing in the game that really says like how long a score takes or downtime takes. I will take that into consideration when we go into downtime. If y'all are doing the cult stuff afterwards, the Forgotten Gods,
Nothing long
stuff.
term in that time.
Yeah, that will be a short period of downtime. So
yeah.
I mean, it absolutely, truncating the time actually kind of like raises the stakes, doesn't it? It's like not only is this a score, this is a score that has to be done quickly.
yeah, it's got to be done like, meow.
yeah, y'all don't
Like
have
right
weeks to
now.
plan this. Okay. So
Okay.
with all of that, it is
Closing
we do
in.
need to end early today, so it might be better just to go ahead and call it before we get into our score planning. But with plans to kidnap Salia's husband and then kidnap her, before doing a world-ending ritual.
Who said anything about the world ending?
It's gonna rock someone's world, definitely.
Hey.
I guess it depends on your definition of the world. Potentially, some people's worlds will end. But yeah,
How about we facilitate that all the time?
exactly.
It's a catered experience.
Let's
We
go ahead
cater
and
to
do.
all times.
Let's go ahead and do our end of session shit, and we'll call it there. So, did we mark desperate actions? I believe so.
Glass did.
I did.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's first thing. Playbook specific XP triggers.
I would say I solved a problem with arcane power.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So
Death.
much conspiracy.
I addressed the
So
challenge
much
of death.
conspiracy.
Today.
Rare case where I don't earn any XP today.
Okay.
Wild.
Addressed a challenge with tracking.
Hell yeah.
Yes, you did. Awesome. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Most assuredly.
Not me.
Background.
Yeah. I think background here too. We gotta take care of this bitch.
Unless you consider your background throwing pens at people, Fume.
No, mine was to suppress my
Oh,
heritages and
yes.
backgrounds.
Ah.
Lean more into the machine.
Yes. And then struggle with issues from vice or traumas. Which I don't think we really had much of today. Okay. That's that. Let's talk about crew advancement.
Execute a successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage.
Soon.
Soon. Contend with challenges above your current station.
Soon.
Death.
Death is like what, a tier 5
Tier 5.
faction?
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
We talked about this. Are we less flamboyant and more something a little more sinister at this point? What do we think?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Let's see how this job goes.
Okay.
And
Considering
then
your
we'll-
solution to trying to get some information on this one was let's kidnap her husband and
then kidnap her.
and then kidnap her.
We're not
probably
blackmailing
murder
her. We're gonna, yeah.
I mean, we are essentially blackmailing her. It's like, hey, we kidnapped your husband, so we've kidnapped you, so you're gonna tell us what we need to know, and then we'll let him live. We'll see.
Unless that is the other thing, we cater to all types here.
Yeah, but that is a good question. Whether y'all think that flamboyant might need to
I say we wait until this next score.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
see what happens.
see how that goes. All right,
Everybody, bring your thesaurus next time.
Yeah. That's
getting
what
some,
I'm
getting some parceling
You're
stuff.
gonna need it.
Yeah. That
Not
activated
sponsored by
something in my brain.
thesaurus.com.
Not yet.
Oh,
We've been working on it for years, though.
They'll come around one of these days. Goals, drives, inner conflict, essential nature of the crew.
Always.
All right, let's go and do our stars and wishes, everyone. Let's go first.
I can go.
Go
Do
for
it.
I was not joking. Jackdaw has jumped so far up the ladder in Fume's eyes.
He's a silly goose.
I love them so much. That's a big star to Val and Van if you've talked about like Jackdaw's personality and stuff. If anything were to happen to any of our like banked NPCs, I'm going to raise Duskfall to the ground. I'm going to
I've known
ignore
him
the
for
Baron.
2 hours, and if anything happens to him, I'll kill everyone in this room and then myself.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. I mean, you sent me your 54321, so that,
Yeah, we had talked about him. It was a long time ago, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of a silly guy.
yeah.
A silly bean. Which is funny
Excellent.
because as long as you guys have known Glass, for the most part, they've been pretty like
Yeah,
stoic.
Yeah.
So the silliness comes out sometimes.
I think it's a good foil for
With
Glass.
Fume.
Oh yeah.
Two things. I have named the giant hull that Fume is going to use for combat on a larger scale. It is the Mephisto.
Oh, that's a good.
That's good.
And my wish to the agent listening to me right now and monitoring all my telecommunications, this is strictly for the game.
We're playing a game.
We're playing a game.
I know you've been confused for years about what the hell we talk about on Saturdays. It's a game.
I know I was on the list for
game.
Googling jet fuel and steel beams, but like...
In Minecraft?
Let's kidnap
Minecraft.
some
In
people.
Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
I'm excited to kidnap some people. Agent, this is for the game.
In Minecraft. Kidnap some people in Minecraft.
I'm gonna start a village. No, that's gross. Anyway,
yeah, well, that seems to be where we're going. This is some good old-fashioned kidnapping.
Why do you sound more disappointed in us about doing a pretty standard kidnapping than
No,
you did
I'm
about
very
us
excited.
murdering an entire church full of people?
No, I'm very excited.
Because
I'm very
this time
excited.
it's our
Indiscriminately.
idea.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
kidnapping? Come on, y'all. Really?
that's so third grade.
Is that... What did you say? Oh, something a little more sinister? Like murdering an entire church full of people? No, kidnapping.
Excellent. Well, thank you, RJ. Who is next?
I'll go...
Do it.
My star is gonna go to Salome because it's not very rarely is Salome will Salome admit that she's afraid of something.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty great. I liked that whole scene was really fun, the book and everything. But yeah, that's my star.
She's fucking terrified.
Yeah, I
As
would
much as she
bet.
told them, just about 100 times more. So
I would be pretty scared too, I think. It seems reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to kidnap some people. Let's get back to basics, baby. This is a good old-fashioned kidnapping. Let's get on the train, jump off, grab her. 2-minute job, let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah, I
Love
think
it.
this will be a quick one. This won't be as long as the church murder went. Hopefully. We'll see.
fingers
Oh, we did a
crossed.
lot of role-playing in the church.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Who next?
I'll go.
Go for it.
My star will go to Grackle, honestly, for that moment in the book conversation, because that was not only the exact question that Salome needed to hear, but I did ask you all to help me to connect the two pieces up. Sid has been over here this whole fucking time like, yes, I want to do this ritual. Yes. But then Salome's been like, but do I? And that was the perfect question of, well, do you want to do it? Or are you just afraid so you don't want to do it? And it's like, yes, that's it.
Well, it was a situation of like, it became it's all like, okay, so like, why are you so hesitant to do the ritual? And it's like, I don't have enough information. And then the moment she had the information, it was all like, I have too much information. It's all like, okay, but
Come on, bud. What's really going on here?
yeah, like these at this point, it's an excuse. Like, what's actually going on here?
100%. No, so good. So good. So insightful. I love it. Yeah. And my wish, yeah. I also want to kidnap some people, but also I'm very excited to properly confront Salia. There's a lot of bad blood there. So this is gonna be interesting.
Well, this is an NPC that's been around for a long time, but we haven't had any direct interaction with, so
Mm-hmm.
it'll be fun.
I feel like her whole thing is flying under the radar, though,
Mhm.
so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My star is gonna go to Jackdaw. I think Jackdaw is a really fun character. I like hearing about like the old stories with Glass and Jackdaw. I like how well he gets along with Fume. like the scene where like the three of them just started like, they started to like really like vibe off of each other's energy, and then like Grackle's face fell like, uh-oh. That's some good shit right there. I'm glad we have Jackdaw now.
Me too. I've been waiting for this for a while. I'm glad we finally got there.
Yay! My boyfriend's back.
You
and you're
yeah,
gonna
you
be
can't give me
trouble.
a dead lover and not let me not expect me to do
God,
something with it.
the season 2 crew sounds so fucking cool because it's what, 2 hulls and a vampire?
No, we have a
Boyfriend's
whole
back in town.
we have 2 holes, a vampire, and then a street urchin turned butler.
Oh,
Trained by like the crew.
Yes.
yes.
Some
Oh, this
black
is so
butler
cool.
bullshit.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
That
It's
would be
getting
really
very
fun.
anime in here.
We may not do like a full season of that, but I would at least want like a one shot or like a 2-parter or something with a heist that is done by like that group, with like Jackdaw leading these like
That
baby
would be
criminals
so fun.
through
Oh,
through
and
a
we get an
job.
opportunity to try some like different playbooks and shit.
Like
Uh-huh.
Tiny
Fun.
Toons.
That'd be
Yeah.
fun. Hell yeah.
Tunes. Muppet babies. Memory unlocked.
Yes.
Is that it? Is that everyone?
Yeah.
All right. I'm really torn on a quote today, y'all, because there's a lot of good ones.
Been loading them up.
Mm-hmm.
Been on quote patrol today.
Jeez. I'm. I again, I'm having decision paralysis. Let's do. I'm gonna give it to Fume for. I mean, take your pick. I'm gonna give it to Fume for. If we're gonna go to war, let's go to fucking war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an energy I want. So very,
This
very
is
excited
my
about that.
fight
We are
song.
really rapidly hitting like getting to a big turning point in the game, I think, that I'm very excited about. So all right, that's gonna be it, everyone. So thank you for watching. I believe we'll be back regular time next Saturday. Nothing going on there. So come join us for that. In the meantime, join us for their other games throughout the week. Red Jenny on Monday. Hopefully back with Strixhaven on Tuesday.
That's the plan.
All the other stuff too. So thank you everyone out there for watching. Thank you, my lovely players, for being a joy to run this game for as usual. We will see everyone in 1 week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.